I'm Rob, and I love movies, and joined again by this weirdo. So we just finished watching The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies. This was my second time seeing it. I saw it firstly in the marathon last week, which was an experience, and definitely...
That you didn't take me with?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's not something that I'm going to want to do again anytime soon. Probably not at least until, you know, they had the extended edition of all three out.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the 12-hour marathon of all three Hobbits, and then we'll do the 24-hour marathon of, you know, both the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
And that will be how we die. They'll find us.
That's a great way to die.
They'll find us deceased. Death by...
Too many feelings.
Death by feelings, that's the truth. I was going to say death by Peter Jackson.
Well, that too.
PJ. Part of me really just doesn't want to make this review, because for nostalgia's sake, I would just want to say it's a perfect film.
It is a perfect
film.
film.
It's beautiful, and
it is.
And it's the last, maybe, time that we'll ever see Middle-earth, and...
Don't say that.
Well, I mean...
Come on, Sam's kids.
The problem is that Warner Brothers only has the rights to Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
They need more rights.
That's it. I, for one, would absolutely love to see a TV series of the Silmarillion. Maybe even a mini-series, similar to, like, the History Channel's mini-series of the Bible.
Would it have more, seasons than Sherlock?
Oh my god, it would have, like, 100 seasons.
Great.
Have you read the Silmarillion?
I have not.
It is massive. It is massive. The section of the Silmarillion that covers the events of The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings takes up about a paragraph.
Oh. Of course.
Yes. 24 hours worth of film, one paragraph in the Silmarillion. So, PJ, what are you doing? You're just, you know, pulling out filler wherever you can find it. Speaking of filler, fortunately, as one would expect from the adaptation of the last third of a children's novel, there isn't as much filler, so that's nice. That's one of the good things.
Very nice.
That's one of the good things about the Battle of the Five Armies.
Yes. There's lots of battle.
Yeah, that's one of the things that PJ does best.
Yes.
Huge action set pieces, and 95% of this film is huge action set pieces, and it's beautiful. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
He does that very well. Having seen all three now, do you think it was worth being split into 3 films? Or could it have sufficed as maybe 2 films, like he had originally intended?
Yeah, I think it could have, but I did enjoy all the extra stuff.
I enjoyed some of it, like seeing Gandalf's adventures.
Right.
When he leaves
the... Cool.
Yes, I love that they included that, and the other bits that were from the appendices to The Lord of the Rings. So I like that. I liked seeing the Necromancer and the battle between the Necromancer and the White Council. That was really cool.
That was intense.
That was pretty awesome. I enjoyed that. And I like that they included Legolas, because it just makes sense.
Right.
He was alive.
Yeah, why wouldn't he be there?
He would have been there, and he would have taken part. I like that they created the character Tariel. The series as a whole is pretty weak on female characters. And so I like that, you know, having Galadriel, having another strong female elf, that was nice.
Yeah.
I hate that 90% of her character is as Keeley's love interest. And spoiler alert, the ending really makes it feel like the only reason that she was created was to make Keeley's death more emotional. It does that.
Yeah, really well.
Yeah, yeah. I think we were both crying.
Yes.
But it completely undermines her as a strong female character.
Yeah.
She's not there to kick ass. She's there to cry when Keeley dies. PJ said that he wanted to add, things in to make up for the ways that the book lacked, like the female characters, like the descriptions of battles. In the book, Bilbo gets knocked out, and then, the battle's over.
Yeah.
So I totally understand him adding detail to some things and stretching some things out that may have in the book only, taken a sentence or two. Or a paragraph. Because it was a kid's book. He didn't go into depth describing the battles. So I think it's important to remember that some things did need to be expanded on.
If it was a 3 movies on their own without a book, it would have been amazing.
But it still would have had the same problems of certain parts just dragging on way too long and just feeling way too bloated. Not necessarily in the third film. The third film was pretty lean. And it had a very good pace. And I thought, by itself, it had nowhere near as many problems as the first two. But speaking as the trilogy as a whole, the escape from Goblin Town from the first one.
Yeah.
And then you have the barrel scene. I just have conflicted feelings.
Yeah.
And part of me wants to just say, yes, it's perfect.
I'm letting that part control me.
I probably should too. I think if more of us let that part control us,
the world would be a happier place.
The world would be a merrier place. And because was it good? Yes.
Very good.
Yes. Will I watch it many, many, many more times? Yes.
Do you notice how Tariel's hair was like? It was all to like her butt.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was that one strand of curls that went down to her knees.
Down to her knees? I guess I didn't notice that.
How can you fight with hair that's as long as you are?
They all have that long of hair.
I don't understand how you can fight with hair that long.
They don't have to follow our logic.
I would trip
our rules of logic.
I would trip.
Yeah.
And then I would probably choke and work with it or something.
I thought they went a little too far with what's his name, the Master's deputy. I do not like that character at all. I mean, I know you're not supposed to like him, of course. He's a weasel and a terrible, awful person. But I don't know. They just took that way too far. And it's like, okay, it's kind of funny at first, but then it just gets annoying.
It was like they were trying to make him like the first guy, not bring his name in the original.
Wormtongue,
yeah.
Yeah.
But they took it too much.
It seems like they were trying to. I agree. Except Wormtail wasn't goofy, comedic relief.
Right. But that wasn't. That wasn't.
No, but it seemed like they were trying to make it funny, and it did not work. I had a thought. and maybe I shouldn't share it because I'll probably get some flack for saying this.
Share it.
And it doesn't reflect my feelings of the Hobbit trilogy as a whole. There just are moments where it feels more like a parody of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
Not like a full-on parody, but it just feels like parts of it feel like a fan-made film. Not that there's anything wrong with fan-made films, but Lord of the Rings has this quality and prestige, and it could be tinted by nostalgia, but I remember, you know, even when it was released, it had this prestige that The Hobbit does not have for some reason. And I don't think it's just, you know, the way we're looking at it. I just think, I don't know, it doesn't have the same sense of quality. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
What was your favorite thing? Moment, scene, character for the trilogy as a whole?
Trilogy as a whole.
Or just this last one?
Yeah, because I'm not gonna be able to remember everything.
Alright.
Let's see.
Now, while you're thinking, I'm also gonna think of my answer.
Alright. Okay, I really loved everything that had to do with the elves, just because I love the elves so much. They're my favorite.
They are great.
And then everything to do with Radagast. He's just like my spirit animal. I love Radagast.
One of my favorite things, maybe not the favorite thing, but definitely one of the things that I love about the trilogy as a whole, and think that they got spot on perfect, was the company of Thorin and the camaraderie between all of the dwarves, and just how well, you know, how well they all meshed together. And speaking of Thorin, Richard Armitage did a great job being Thorin possessed by the dragon sickness. Yeah. I thought he portrayed the mad Thorin so perfectly.
Great. I got chills.
Oh yeah. Well, especially when they melded, they put the effect of Smaug's voice onto Thorin's voice.
I thought I imagined that, and I'm just like,
God.
Is that Smaug?
That's one of the best scenes in the film. That's one of the very best.
It's great.
Okay, I think we've said all that we can say. We've nitpicked, and yet, even with the picking of the nits, we have decided
it was perfect.
We still love this film.
Perfect.
It was perfect, and I don't care if you tell me otherwise. I'm gonna give it 5 golden rings. And I know you're going to disagree with me, so let's head down to the comments and you can tell me why you don't think it deserves 5 stars.
And then we will prove you wrong.
And then I will just sit in the corner and cry. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.